Welcome to another adventure with Getting Lost. Today we are continuing our journey along Punggol Promenade Nature Walk, and here in the distance is Lorong Halus Bridge. This bridge, if you remember previously at our previous Punggol adventures, we crossed this bridge, and this time we are going to go the other direction to explore the other parts of the nature walk that we saw in the distance. So join me after the intro as we do just that. Welcome back, and this part here, this part of the walk that we're going to go on now is still part of the Punggol Promenade Riverside Walk. And on the left here, inside this fence area here, is actually a construction site, and this construction site in the future will be future HDB flats. So this area here and the area opposite where we passed by previously, there will be all HDB flats. And the area there will be called Waterway Sunrise, and there'll be nice HDB flats. But in the future here, I do not know this area here, whether this forested area here will still become forest, or would they change. Maybe in the future they will build more HDB flats, but at the moment you can come here. This place here is called the Punggol Promenade Nature Walk. And here you can see opposite here is where the dam is, and right over there would be the Coney Island east entrance, where we actually exit Coney Island, and that's Coney Island over there. Just walking along this road here, which will bring us all around, and we will be able to see Coney Island across the river on the right. So we just keep walking along this nature walk, and you can actually see Coney Island in the distance. And of course you can see along Coney Island there's a lot of construction being done. So what I would suspect is that they're going to build something like what you see here on the other side there, with lots of chairs, maybe a walkway, shelters in case it rains. I don't know, they'll be building, even barriers on the other side there. So we just have to see in the future what they will look like. And if you actually look into the foliage, into the forest area there, you'll notice that the environment there, the habitat there, is actually very similar to the habitats at Coney Island. The only difference is on the edge here, they built this nice little walkway for us to walk through. And as we are walking through, you can see there's this nice little area here, and this area here is actually a fishing deck. So in Singapore, you're not allowed to fish anywhere you like. You can only fish at designated areas along the rivers. So these designated areas, you can actually go to the website itself, the PUB website. They'll tell you where these areas are, and these are one of the areas where you can actually come here to fish, and it's legal here to fish. And recently, if you saw the news, there were two kids that were actually fishing and caught a big fish near the Malayan, and PUB was not happy about it. That's because, like I said earlier, you can only fish at certain designated areas, not everywhere. And like I said earlier, the environment here, the habitat in the forest here is very similar to that you see in Coney Island. You see with all the casuarina trees. And if you keep walking, this nature walk itself is quite remote because there are actually no apartments or residents nearby this area here. But if you go to the railing here, you can have a nice view of the dam with the east entrance on that side there, and Coney Island across the waters. And unfortunately, you cannot actually see the other end where the west entrance is at the moment. You need to go much further down. But what you can see in the distance, you can actually see the cranes of a construction site. Because at the other end there, if you remember previously as we were walking, we actually walked past an area where you can actually see Johor across the waters. They were actually building some HDB flats at that area there too. So in the distance, what you saw, those cranes were actually that place there. And if you walk past the wooded area on the left here, you keep walking down, you'll notice there's a hill actually. And if you climb to the top of the hill, which I did here, you'll notice there's actually a wide field, an empty field here. And this field, in the distance, you can see all the HDB flats. And on your left, you're able to see that there's actually a forest. And the forest itself is actually at the same level as the nature walk itself, whereas the hill is actually an elevated area. So what happened is, previously what happened, they actually cleared the area and they actually built the hill there. Yes, this hill here is actually man-made, and in the future, I suspect that when there's more demand, they will actually start building HDB flats from where you see in the distance there, those flats, all the way up to the edge here. So in the future, the HDB flats will come all the way to here, and then those people who have apartments here will be able to have a nice view of Coney Island, and there's actually a forested area here. So in the future, I'm not really sure what will be the whether the forested area itself will be cleared to make way for more development, or will they be retained as a forested area. That is to be seen in the future. But if you look at the distance there, so further in the distance, you can also see there's another clear area, and that area too, in the future, they will start building HDB flats right up to this pathway here itself. So that's the future plan of this area here. And if you do get a HDB flat that is facing Coney Island, I think that will be a very nice, and you have a very nice view of the sea from there, especially if you have a high floor. And if you keep walking, you can see there's actually a canal here. So you'll notice this area here, even though it's Punggol, it's a remote area, this place has already been planned for future development. That means plans have already been in place for future. So the Singapore government does have a plan for the area itself. So from here you can actually roughly see the plan of what they plan to do. And if you actually keep walking along the nature walk itself, you also notice that they have planted a lot of trees. A lot of new trees at the site here. So in the future, when they start building all the HDB flats all the way up to this nature walk itself, these trees that will probably be maybe 5 years along the road, 10 years down the road, these trees itself would have matured, and then when people are walking along this nature pathway 10 years in the future, they'll notice, wow, such nice shade given by all these nice trees. This will be a very beautiful place to stay. And as we keep walking here, look, there's another designated fishing area here that you can actually fish So the facilities, at the moment now, they are also planning. Not only do they plan the area for them to build, they also plan the facilities for the future also, even trees. Isn't that interesting? And if you keep walking here, you'll come to another bridge here that will cross another canal. And if you keep walking, you can also start to see the bridge that we actually crossed previously at our venture, where we go and visit Coney Island. And that is the area that we should cross, and that is the west entrance of Coney Island in the distance. Yes, and that was also the area where the monkeys came out in the evening time to have a look at the sunset. Yes, they're actually macaw monkeys. There's actually macaw monkeys living on Coney Island itself. But these monkeys itself are a bit mischievous, so please do not bring food. And if you do bring food, make sure it's packed nicely so that they cannot snatch the food, because the monkeys are known to snatch food from people's hands or from plastic bags. Where they tear the plastic bag to steal your food. Anyway, so we're going to go across this bridge here. You can have let's have a last view of Coney Island, and then look at the canal. And if you look in the distance, the canal, you'll notice the building at the edge of the canal there itself is a familiar building. We actually saw this building when we were walking during our last episode. This is actually Oasis Terrace, the shopping center that we passed by previously. Yes, so what we're going to do now, we're going to walk along this pathway and get to Oasis Terrace. And from there, we'll reach back to civilization. So in the distance there, if we keep walking down the direction, we will go to the land bridge that will bring us to the west entrance of Coney Island. Yes, we have to walk all the way down that direction. But we're not going to walk that direction now. What we're going to do instead is we're going to walk down the canal that will bring us to Oasis Terrace. Yes, so this is the bridge that we were at earlier. And we're going to walk along this canal down all the way down to that direction. Yes, that's the bridge again. This is the water of the canal. And remember, the water you see here all are fresh water. And we're going to walk down all the way there, all the way to the end. Until now, you can reach back to civilization, where you can see that the landscaping itself has changed. There's more trees, more greenery, more facilities, buildings. And we are back to the wave bridge. Yes, this is the wave bridge. And then Oasis Terrace across the river, across the Punggol waterway. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed our venture here at Punggol. I think I've already explored most of the natural places here in Punggol. If you have any suggestions or other places in Punggol I can go, please write down in the description down below. And I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely did enjoy the walk. And before we go, please do me a favor. Please help me by liking my videos, sharing my videos, and subscribing to my channel. And lastly, but the most important thing, the thing that you must do is to join me for my next adventure. Until then, see you then. See you then. Bye bye.